So, ARA Porsche Cup at Monza this week, and it looks like Sam Fitzpatrick is still in purgatory, so I'll have to take over for this week. I'm excited to be here. David Sampson alongside me here, Jimmy Fluke for this particular round. We've had a cracking season so far.
Have indeed.
And we come to Monza. What more can we possibly ask for?
And an hour format.
And a different.
It is one of my favourite formats, but I do love the fact we mix it up.
Yeah.
But this one shows, I mean, we've got a stacked field, and an hour at Monza is really going to separate the men from the boys, I want to say.
Yes. I just noticed the graphic there. I am definitely still not Sam Fitzpatrick. So, yes, plenty to sort of digest off of last week, as well as Interlagos, which I wasn't on the broadcast for, but I did have some eyes on it. So I guess we can take a quick look at what happened there. So it was Pascal Costa from Impulse Racing taking pole position, therefore leading the field away for the first heat. Corey Lazarus getting turned at T2. Sort of an infamous spot, really.
100%, yeah.
For the last 7 or 8 years, you do not want to be on the outside there in T2. And then all hell sort of breaking loose here. Further down the field towards the sort of AM leaders. Lichka and Toth coming to blows. These guys have been sort of scrapping all season. That was a bit of a naughty one there from David Toth. And that allowed Pascal Costa to run away with a sort of comfortable race win. Yep. On to Heat 2. So Rafael Soltschek on pole for that, so that meant he qualified second. Salvatore Lorne from Pro-Am lead, a driver who offers so much promise and potential, but a few too many mistakes and sitting there locking up and running wide. Steve Clays and Origi there running wide, and so we had Soltschek then picking up sort of a comfortable race win. Into the B final, this is always hectic and chaotic. Weigel and Daniel Ola, who had a qualifying ban, unable to work their way forward into the promised land of the top 6. And so, yeah, we've got more incidents here. Shakira and Sikorsky, who has been doing so well in RLTC, not quite having the same fortune here in Porsche Cup. Tobias Olsen,
what a move.
A great move. Always entertaining in Porsche Cup. He is. But it's sort of the good and the bad with him in this particular case. So the wonderful move, but then contact with Origi sort of ruining his chances. But then he was fighting back, and he got himself back into the top 6.
Fighting again with Origi, I believe.
Yeah. Just all kicking. No, it was actually Bernal this time.
Ah, okay. His teammate,
the other PS competition driver. Beautiful power slide to complete the move. But then back up at the front, Gordon Hogg and Horderbike there scrapping for the race win. And it was Horderbike who was able to hang on for sort of the front of the B final guys. Strong start from Impulse off the line. They basically nailed it in terms of their raw speed this week. Gabriel Schick, though, running wide. And the A final was actually quite contentious for this run. Normally we see like B final being like the really hacked one. That's a monster shunt involving Lorne once again. And then yes, a bit of a unfortunate contact there for Olsen. So once again, a DNF for Tobias Olsen. Driving so much talent and pace, but just unable to keep it pointing where he needs to. Philip Hammer there and David Toth there coming together. And a battle up at the front between the Impulse teammates with Pascal Costa hanging on over Rafael Soltschek. And he goes on to win at Interlagos. So, yeah, plenty of exciting action. Your sort of thoughts on it, David?
Yeah, it was tough. Obviously, we saw the B final a bit hairier because obviously those slots are so important to try and make your way through. I thought everyone did well, especially Porsche Cup Interlagos. It really does test you T2. You put in the car to its absolute limit, off-track management, everything. I thought they were really good races. We do see a few drivers making a fair too many mistakes, but it gives us great entertainment because them coming back through. Olsen, we never really saw him holding his position he deserves. Yeah. Very quick guy, very able to overtake, but possibly if he gets everything right, he doesn't need to overtake.
Exactly, yeah. Moving on to the standings coming off the back of Interlagos. So it's David Toth with a slender 3-point lead over Pascal Cossa with Mate Varga, only a dozen points behind. And we haven't really spoke much about him over the course of the season. He's sort of been like the quiet driver of the Szezsik group, with Lishka and Hammer. They're rounding out the top 5, but really close in points all round. Still very much all to play for.
100%.
Into the Pro-Am standings, so Pavel Gebski with, again, pretty small lead over Samuel Lindelo. Those guys have been very strong so far this season with Gergo Gajer, Marcel Mirage and Mattia Hapacher running out the top 5. Hapacher's a driver I've always been really interested in, sort of quietly watching behind the scenes. I've seen a lot of him over the last couple of seasons in what we're doing. Very quick, but seems to, again, sort of similar to Larne and maybe a little bit of Olsen, where he just gets caught up in instances that maybe he would rather not, and he hasn't always been able to show his pace, but the pace is definitely there. So hopefully we'll be able to see that this week.
Quickly to emphasise how stacked this is, we're talking about Mateo Hapache in P5 or 6 in the standards, 6.1k in Pro-Am sitting 6th. That's how stacked this is. I would be way deep in Pro-Am. That's how heavy this is stacked.
Oh, no, you'd be flying, mate. That the amount of experience and racecraft you've got, you'd be absolutely
Thank you.
flying in this. Into the AM standings then, so it's Leon Weigel, 2-point lead over Steve Clays and only 1 point then over Gordon Haga, with Baptiste Hurtebite and Helder Sequeira. Sequeira actually another driver who sort of quietly goes under the radar within the AM class. So, you know, good to see that this is so tight and so condensed. We've got a different format this week, which we'll get to in just a moment. But what Weigel has been able to do so far this season, sort of consistently doing well, not necessarily always getting into the A final, but in that B final, scoring well to get the points that he
needs. It is so tight in their championship, so tight, so every point's going to matter.
Every point will matter indeed. On to the team standings then. Weirdly, it's the Szezsik Esport Academy team that tops the table ahead of the Impulse Racing guys. The main Szezsik Esports team, actually a good chunk behind. That's over 100 points.
The Academy team has the 10k driver, right?
It does, yes. it's slightly messed up that way, but you know, they're promoting what they're promoting, and these guys have been super strong. They have all season. There's a lot of them though.
It's insane.
As we'll see once we get into qualifying. So Team Checkmate and then the Uni team of Szezsik rounding out the top 5. So yes, back then to the schedule. This is round 4 of our season here, and that brings us to Monza. We don't actually have the schedule definitely confirmed for rounds 5, 6, and 7, although that will be punched in
ASAP.
I'm not 100% sure actually where this will all go, but we'll know very, very soon. So really exciting opening 3 rounds that we've got. Tracks that really suit Porsche Cup.
100%.
A lot of high action, high octane sort of racing. And we go to Monza where we're going to have more of the same.
Yeah, I think, well, this is going to be a great track for an hour. I assume there'll be a pit stop. I haven't actually looked at the format. I think the fuel's limited like 60%. So
60%, yep. We've got the format there on screen right now. So
bam.
Qualifying's the same as what we've always had. 32 minutes, so that's 10 minutes for each class, with time then for your ability to finish the lap that you start on.
For the pros, yeah.
For the pros, so that's how we round up. So that's why we've got the 12 minutes. Don't think actually that's applicable really with the, like, we don't need a heat format for this one, so maybe they'll get a little bit of extra time. I don't know exactly how that will plan out. But yes, 60-minute race and 60% on the fuel, so heading in around that sort of 35 to 40-minute mark, maybe a little bit earlier here at Monza.
This is where having a teammate near you can pay massive benefits at Monza, not just for the fuel sim, just working together, pushing each other. So we're going to see, well, there's plenty of teams, but there's a lot of SAZ cars.
Yeah, loads of them. It's absolutely crazy. Weather for today, so no chance of rain, clear skies, fairly cool temperatures though, so the drivers should be able to maximize lap time around here. And yeah, we'll see some very, very quick lap times on the board in qualifying very, very soon. So yeah, on to Monza, the track we all know and love. The first chicane here, turns 1 and 2. We've seen so much activity here over the years in all motorsport and in ARL as well.
Yeah, I mean, I like how we finished with this chicane, like off-track wise, performance-wise. I think it's in a good place right now in iRacing, so I'm happy. This chicane, you best sometimes just to close your eyes and hope that you've got it right for the off-track.
Yeah, in iRacing, I absolutely love it, actually. I feel like it flows really well. And then into the two Lesmos, two corners I actually really enjoy.
Same.
Maybe because they're actually quite forgiving corners and that the camber helps you out, especially when you're typically really low in downforce. But
my only wish now is we don't need an off-track system. The sand is so slow with the update that we don't
really need it.
There's no advantage to be had, yeah. Wow.
Exit of Lesmo 2, though, I have personal experience of this from my past days where, yeah, it doesn't take much to create a massive traffic jam there.
Yep.
Into the Scary chicane.
When I got it right, this is one of my favourite corner complexes in sim racing. Yeah. When I've got it right, I will curse this section of track.
Once in a blue moon for all of us.
Yes.
To get it right, because it's so dependent on how well you strike the curbs. And then into what's now called Alvarado Corner. I'm just going to keep calling it Parabolic.
Parabolica. This is where you blow your Q lap, isn't it? This is that corner where you think, it's just the right-hander to go. Like,
it's not a complicated corner.
Yeah, it's not a complicated. Yeah,
you have a long run out of a Scary to like, oh right, I'm on a good one here. Let's absolutely nail it. Yeah. We see so much side-by-side action over the line at the end of a race as well here, and the dynamic that can create, whether you defend the inside super tight or not. But that's Monza in a nutshell, and we love it. So the last things that we just need to go over is our picks for this round. So I've went for Daniel Ola, Marcel Mirage, and Leon Weigel. I'll explain why I went for those particular options. So I'm backing the Shezia Esports guys in qualifying to work really well together to pull all of them up there. And I think Ola's maybe the absolute quickest out of the lot. So if they can get all of them up there, then they'll work together as a team, and whoever's out front will probably win. Same sort of idea in Pro-Am. There's enough of the Shezia guys in Pro-Am to work together, and they'll all be out on track at the same time as well, those guys in that class. And then Leon Weigel, I think, is probably the most solid and consistent of the AM drivers. And when you're further down the pack a little bit, as in this series, it tends to be the case that the AMs are sort of much more mid-pack, whereas we've seen in ARLTC that there can be a little bit of a mix, and some of the AM guys actually have been really, really strong and been fighting near the front. The sheer level of the pros and pro-AMs make it a lot harder for those AM guys to do that. But I think Weigel's probably the most consistent, and that's why he's top of the tree. And for the mid-pack drivers, that's, I think, a much more important trait to have.
Yeah, I mean, you put a lot of science and analysis into this.
It's all going to be horribly wrong.
I just spun the lucky wheel. No, I didn't really. I have gone with Philip Hammer. I'm a fan of his work. Broadcasted the season before that he's done. He's a really good driver. Sure, he's going up against 2 or 3 massive teams out there at Monza. It's going to be hard. I think he's on his own. But I believe. Brian Solera's only done 1 race. So I've picked like a P13, but strong showing last round, and yeah, it's the gut feeling. Yeah, I'm feeling it. And Gordon Hegg, it's hard in AM. They're all so close. Yeah, I don't know what tracks they're good at. It's really tight. Again, I have less analysis. It was gut, just from watching them, seeing how they. I'm feeling strong that my picks. I mean, Philip Hammer's a long stretch. I get it. There's like a sea of Hungarian liveries he's going to have to fight, and then the Impulse and Liska and everything. So it's going to be tough, but yeah, I'm feeling confident.
Sounds good. We have qualifying just around the corner, so we'll take a quick advert break, and we'll see you on the other side of it.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
So the Temple of Speed, or round 4 of the Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup Series. David Sampson and myself, Jimmy Fluke, here with Lewis Ward, wielding the cameras behind the scenes.
What a legend.
What a legend indeed. We have qualifying well underway at this point, and we've actually gone through the entirety of the AM qualifying. So it's currently Franek Sikorsky on pole position, ahead of Gordon Haag, Baptiste Hurtubay, Christian Intalura, Sophia Ray, Vincent Rocher, Ruben Iglesias, Helder Sequeira, and more down through the list. My pick, my glorious pick, does not seem to be here.
And my pick's P2, mate. I tell you, it's the gut. Well. It's the gut.
I do not see Leon Weigel anywhere, so that's not gone well. And something rings a bell where I feel like I can remember him not actually. Or like
that's why you picked him, yeah.
Like he said that he wasn't going to be here this week, so that's not gone well on my part. But we've got some Pro-Am times starting to roll in. Lucas Seidel here up into second with his first flying lap of the session. These guys get 10 minutes, and then the lap that they've started to complete. So plenty of time to get further up to speed. See a couple of purple sectors starting to roll in from these guys. So it's looking interesting, and yeah, see a massive gaggle of cars all sort of fighting for a bit of slipstream.
It's a Matt Malone phrase, right? Gaggle we use. I think he coined it.
But Malone's been around for a really, really long time, so it feels like it's always been there.
Correct. Hello to everyone in chat, especially one Sam Fitzpatrick. I won't repeat.
No, not Sam Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I won't repeat his.
To everyone except Sam Fitzpatrick.
Well, yeah, I'm not repeating his message.
No, I'm not either.
Hello to Lamp. We've got someone looking forward to the Endurance Series. Yes, that's going to be brilliant. It'll be myself and Sam broadcasting that.
Well, if Sam can get out of purgatory, of course.
And that message doesn't get him fired.
No, absolutely not.
Gross misconduct.
Bunch of green sectors coming in, so we've got our eyes currently on Yorkland here, coming over the line. Can he improve? Can. Up to P8 though. It's super tight so far in the first half of qualifying here. Marcel Mirage setting some purple sectors, so see him come over the line. He's my pick. This is my guy. He goes P1, 3/10 clear of absolutely everyone else so far. So that's a really, really strong lap time from the Shezhou driver.
Yep. 3 of them, the Surgeon Esports Uni teams. First, 4th, and 5th at the moment.
I suspect that they'll maybe do a little bit of swapping of drivers to try and get the rest of the uni drivers from Shezhou further up the field. So that will include their Mate Lampert that we're on board with now, and eyes also then on Marcel Mirage. Yep. Once again, is my pick.
Yeah, I say some of the hardest things here is getting the most out of the track without picking up the 1X. It feels like it's quite easy at Monza. I don't think there's been any changes with the tyre model or the track regarding Porsche Cup, so I think it's as is for now.
Yeah. It's a little bit wide there out of Lesmo 2 from Mirage. So maybe it's that valid. Remains to be seen, but yeah, it looks like everyone's sort of got laps on the board. At the minute, though, Salvatore Larney hasn't got a lap on the board, neither has Julian Mary. And then your pick, David Brian Scolari, also hasn't yet set a valid lap time.
He's saving it.
He's saving it. He's winding up for it. He's winding up for the big lap. The Uruguayan driver. I think it's the first Uruguayan driver that I've noticed, at least, in this series, or at least within the ARA stuff that I've been in some way involved with. So that's exciting to see a nationality being represented here.
Sam's got a message for us. Cowards for not repeating what I said. The broadcast has lost its edge this week.
Of course he would say that. It's gone downhill since Sam apparently got a haircut, which, I mean, that's also somewhat debatable.
Yep.
Sider over the line, not improving.
Brian Solari into P4.
As you said, he was saving it.
He was saving it. Good lap.
But Gergo Gajer up into second place. If I say that too quickly, I'll say go Gadget. It's going to happen at some point.
4th, 5th, and 6th, separated by absolutely nothing. Marcel does have the edge by a 10th and a half. Then it's quite close.
Gordon Marshall up to P3, trying to sort of split the packs up a little bit here. So that's a good lap from Gordon, and hopefully we'll see him feature well in this race as well. Looking down through, yeah, the only driver in the Pro-Am field who hasn't set a valid lap time is Salvatore Larney. Italian driver at Monza. Hope he can go well, but so far hasn't been able to string it together. So oh no! Well, that's all a little bit silly. Actually, that's very silly. In qualifying to
I mean,
something like that, that's not ideal.
Yeah.
Is not getting a valid qualifying lap in.
Yeah, I mean, if someone's on a lap ahead of you, them being slower doesn't invalidate it.
No. That will be looked upon dimly by those overseeing.
Imagine these guys step it up to real life and realize there is no lone qualifying.
Yeah, true.
It's tough out there in racing, really tough.
It is. So, I think these guys are about to get one more flying lap. A couple of purple sectors flying in. So we've got Scagliari over the line. He improves time, but not position. Stays in P5. Tom Mueller coming over the line. Again, he's going to be able to get one more lap in. Proves up to P11.
Yeah, Tom Mueller there.
So he'll have another crack, but he will not have any slipstream. Unlike Gergo Gajer here in second position behind, as we sort of predicted in one of the Shenzhen Uni teammates.
Mateo Hapacha down in 7th. I imagine he's not over the moon with that, but we are seeing at this track the skill level jump where there are no AM drivers inside the top 11, whereas a lot of the other tracks we've seen a bit of a mixed up qualifying. But obviously to remind our viewers that the Pro-Am field is stacked with 5Ks, like that's the average stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts here. Goucher's backing out of the lap. He will not improve. Neither will Marsh. Those guys will peel off to make sure that nobody else gets a slipstream. And one of those drivers is Julien Mary, who hasn't set any green sectors, so maybe not going to improve, but...
I think I saw an infringement. I think the Shazy guy behind this car, if we could see, cut Ascari to give draft to his teammate ahead.
He shouldn't be doing that.
I think he cut Ascari to give... He might have just blown Ascari.
Might have.
But look.
If I was a fellow driver in the series, I would...
Oh, they're pitting. Okay.
Okay.
All forgiven.
All forgiven. So this is the opportunity, if you're not on a flyer, to come in and pit and get used to sort of like a racing style pit stop, if you can.
Very true.
Because we do have pit stops for the first time this season.
And it's a high-speed entry, this one. It's one of those just see and stop pit stops, no steering needed.
Absolutely. Patrick Barth, only P16. Tom Mueller up into P11. So, on to the pro drivers, and they're about to start their first flying lap.
I think these times are going to be nuts. I think.
Yeah, these guys will be quick.
Yeah.
And Patrick, though, still finishing, is he? Is he starting another lap? He should be peeling into the pits because his slot is over. His timer is still going there. maybe I had that wrong. Daniel Ola. If we could go on board with him, actually, that would be fantastic. We'll sort of have a quick little run through the lap. So he's gone through the first chicane there quite nicely. A lot of his teammates there peeling off to the left-hand side, not currently on a flying lap. So Corby Granda, obviously in these cars, easy flag. Don't need to worry about that. Into the Della Roger chicane, second gear, plenty of inside curve left and right. A little bit of gravel on the way out. I think he's going to be okay with that, but it's maybe not the quickest way through. Lesmo 1, just bank it down one gear, float the car in. Smoothly does it onto the throttle. As long as you're touching the white line on the way out, you're good to go for Lesmo 2. Again, back down into third, for that inside curve, and hang on again.
This is fully legal, you know, giving your teammates... It's very strategic and very difficult to pull off because it means only one of you get a lap in.
Exactly. But they can just swap for the next one.
Yep.
Into this car. This is difficult behind another car, so hopefully these guys practice that. Down into third, loads of inside curve. I wouldn't want to be sitting that close behind another car on a qualifying lap, but that's really aggressive and just about nicely done there from Daniel.
Now it pays.
Now it pays for sure. So that's Balish Pala directly.
Would you want them to break away? Yeah, I was going to say, would you want them to branch off before Parabolica? Because
so they've got a group before there. So as I mentioned before, this is sort of like the tactic to have. As Ola goes purple in Sector 3. So this is the first flying lap as well, which, to the best of my knowledge, isn't the absolute quickest lap on the tyre. So a strong start from Daniel Ola. He goes...
Yeah, we know he's quick.
Goes third. Matej Varga, though. So the quiet, understated member of the SDK.
The academy driver.
Conglomerate, basically. Yeah, the academy driver. Goes pole position for now. 148.6.
But Shazy locking out the top 4, obviously Pro, Pro-Am, Pro, Pro-Am, but still a Shazy lockout top 4.
Exactly. Yeah, really strong start from those guys. But we've got the Impulse guys. We've also just found a nice little sort of corner of the track of their own to operate in, and they'll do their thing. So Liska and Costa.
I've been impressed with their pace, Liska and Costa. I mean, Liska at Spa was unmatched on that qualifying lap, and Costa, yeah, like you say, quiet, but banging in a lot of points, a hell of a lot of points.
Certainly is.
Mate, Varga looking again, purple sector 1.
Yeah, looking very, very strong. So we've got like different sort of groups here. We've got the Shezha guys, we've got the Impulse guys, and then I think we've got everyone else trying to sort of work somewhat together if they can. We've got Lucas Talman in this.
I think he's in the team Checkmate. I think if...
He is indeed.
Yeah.
So he's got Gabriel Schick to work with as well. Yeah, we're just going to be like a mix of different drivers trying to hang on to all their people sort of doing their thing. So someone like a Philip Hammer, who is sort of Impulse, sort of not Impulse. I don't know what way that sort of works now. He was Impulse, but it is a privateer for this season. And then we've got someone like Corey Lazarus, who's probably trying desperately to work with someone around here for qualifying at least. So the second round of laps coming to a conclusion here.
Yeah, you just wanted to...
Varga goes quicker again.
You want to find a team that you can be near, but the problem is they're in between laps where they start all the swapping and stuff. It will hinder you a little bit.
Philip Hammer to the top of the timesheets.
I can't miss today, mate.
It's going well for you. It's going well. So Hammer and Schultesek, only 300 separating them, and then 2/10 to Matej Varga. So whatever the Shezha guys are currently doing in terms of strategy, it's maybe not quite working to plan. As Philip Hammer puts the hammer down and goes top of the timesheets.
Yeah, what a lap. Yeah, I mean, we know he's a great driver. It's just been... Team-based has been really tough this season.
That's very wide. Oh my goodness. That's not what you want to do there from the Impulse car. That's exactly who that was. But sketchy nonetheless.
Do you agree with the T1 memes? I never have for racing in general. Like, I don't actually find an increased amount of incidents.
It's pretty frequent though. I've done a lot of racing around here over the years, and it's always pretty messy.
Okay.
So Lishka to the top of the timesheets. Just sneak that one in. And straight into the pits, so probably get a fresh set of boots on, and out they'll go again. So more swapping there from the Scheja
You
guys.
can see why I thought it was Italian, right? Circling back.
Yeah, kind of.
It is a lovely livery.
It is a lovely livery. Although, I can't really forgive you for the fact that all of their driver names looks not very Italian.
All right. Okay.
I'll have to ping you on that one.
Yeah, fair.
Daniel Ola. So that's my pick for this round goes P4 as Philip Hammer regains top spot, 148.191.
By a whole 10th as well, which is, by the looks of it, significant because the next 10th is a couple of bit. Yeah, so we're talking he is 4 tenths quick, 3 and a bit tenths quicker than Daniel Ola in P4, which at the bleeding edge is a lot.
It is a lot indeed. Tamer Simon without any slipstream, without a friend to work with at the moment, only P23, 0.2 seconds off. I don't think all of that is slipstream, but a good chunk of it will be.
No, Hammer seems to be really in the groove. 2 laps. 2 of his fastest laps would have given him first and second at the moment.
Yeah.
We know Liska's got that 1 lap. And the Impulse boys sit in second and third. What could have been if Hammer had still been Impulse? 1, 2, 3, that would be. But he's not. We will move on. Oh,
It does make it very interesting how this race is going to shake out. If the Impulse guys still like work well with Philip Hammer, or maybe they don't, I don't know. I don't know what that dynamic's like.
sure.
Or they work together to try and stifle the Scheja guys from trying to work their way forward. But there's only 2 of them truly up there, which is Ola and
And I don't think we can rule out the checkmate boys. They're looking very quick as well. And we're missing Lucas Talman's time. If Lucas Talman can put a good lap in, team checkmate for the moment, sitting 6 and 7. Yeah, the Chesney dominance that we had earlier in the qualifying rounds where it looked like they were locking out the top 5 is over at the moment.
Varka goes P4, Toth then goes P4, so they're starting to bring more bodies up there, but they haven't been able to eclipse the top 3 yet.
Corey Lazarus to P10. Gabriel Shisk to 5th. And that's team checkmate.
That is team checkmate. Sort of splitting up the Scheja guys. And that's probably going to be quite interesting then as we get in towards the race. We've still got some time for a couple more laps. And we see a difference in strategy as well. So the Impulse guys have come in and pitted. The Scheja guys have stayed out and just kept trundling round. So they've probably fueled it a little bit extra as well to counter that.
Hammer time is still looking very fast. 2.2 seconds, 2.2 tenths quicker than Toth.
Yeah, it's very, very strong lap. It's going to be very difficult for the rest of these guys to go much quicker.
And in open quali, you need to keep an eye on like what way the temperature's going, what way the humidity's going, because obviously in iRacing we're so used to qualifying being this static, isolated, non-evolving session, whereas open qualifying, how it can rain.
Yep, absolutely.
0% chance, but iRacing always says, hold my beer.
I think we're in the clear on this one with clear skies as well.
Correct.
So it looks like Hammer is toying around to the Scheja guys. One there in between. Dabtoth has set a purple sector 4.
Yeah, he's going to hope them second and thirds are not too far off.
Oh, he's coming into pit, so I guess he's validated his lap.
Seen a lot of yellow sectors, but
A lot of people actually, if they're not on the lap, they have to come in and pit. So this is it, over the line, and see if any of these guys can improve. Gabriel Schick over the line. Does not improve. Some improvements behind, though.
that Talman lap, he is on a lap. 18.
He's not going to finish
No.
it. No, so P19. Sadly.
But yeah, we haven't seen any of the like the skill. Well, we know Sikorsky's a really fast guy, but 25th for the AM. There are no surprise AM drivers.
If I've got this correct, these guys will not be able to finish.
No, I don't think so.
Just whether it's actually set up as a heat session. So we'll find out over the line. It's 32 minutes expires, and it is over and done with.
But yeah, I wonder how that is set, because like you say, open qualifying, you can finish. I'm not sure. Sam does magic.
the magic man who is not here.
Correct.
He's done a Houdini and he's disappeared on us.
Yeah.
So that is qualifying done and dusted. We'll bring the grid up for you in just a moment. So no splitting of Group A and Group B this time, just everyone's out in one go for the 60-minute race. Philip Hammer, pole position ahead of Franciszek Liszka for Impulse Racing, with Rafał Soltysiak and David Toth on row 2. And it's Schick and Vargas and Ola and Mihalic and then Morosh, the top Pro-Am in P10, ahead of Corey Lazarus and Colby Warren. Just coming further down through, so more of the Pro-Ams and fewer of the pros here. We've got Gajer, Marshall, and then Pala and Mary. David's pick, Brian Scaglieri in P17, with Pavel Gebski, Lucas Talman, and Mattia Hapacha running out the top 20. Then we've got Mate Lampert, Kim Andre Bjorklund, Lucas Shador, Tom Hewler, and then the top of the AM drivers, Franek Sikorsky in P25, ahead of Tamas Simon, who's had a really tough qualifying and a bit of a tough start to the season here, down in P26, ahead of Gordon Hogg, Baptiste Herdebait, Christian Intolura, Patrick Barth, Sophia Ray, Quentin Rocher, Jean-Thierry Arrighi down in P33.
Yeah, that's
a tough one there for the PS competition driver there. Ruben Iglesias and Anthony Bernan, and Helder Sequeira, Tom Heritage, Adrian Lugnot, Max Nevinciani, Philippe Weber, Lynn Bronton-Turner, Steve Klaus, and then Pascal Costa without the ability to qualify here.
Salvatore
Larney
Larney
did get a lap in, and then Kenneth Wick also with a qualifying ban.
PS competition looked like they brought the Phillip Island dock, not the Monza dock, because they're way down for their skill level.
Our way down. Revs rise as we get ready to rumble here at Monza, and away they go. Really,
that's
difficult.
A lot of cars.
That's a lot of cars. A big change up front there as Soltysiak and Toth get ahead of Liszka. Liszka with a really poor start here as we funnel everyone down in towards the first chicane. We'll see if everyone can get through here smoothly.
Lots of three wides. Lots of three wides.
Oh, no, we've got, Shekar off in the background there. That's Balish Pala, I'm pretty sure, heading down the order. But everyone else seemingly getting through just about okay.
I called it. Where was the T1 meme? Where was it?
We had one off, and it sort of got
skill issue.
down into the second chicane we come. So Hammer still leads from Soltysiak, Toth, and Liszka. Further down, we've got some activity. Corey Lazarus.
That's a late three wide. That's
3 wide. Oh.
Yeah, he went into his teammate. He was defending overly aggressively there, and then brought himself an angle against his teammate.
Lucas Talman, we know, is a very aggressive driver from previous ARA seasons. He loves getting stuck in. That's an aggressive move up the inside 3 wide. And I think he's been able to make that 6. So that's him up into P12. He's up 7 already.
What a rejoin.
Big incident behind.
Yeah, and then
sort of getting involved. I think Arrighi involved, Pascal Costa trying to plot his way through, as is Steve Clays and Salvatore Larney from the back. But up front, Philip Hammer still leads ahead of Daniel Ola.
Yeah, so movers and shakers. Liszka is down 2. Oh, Matej Hapacha is dropping. Ivan Vargas down 2. Lucas Talman up 7, has cleared all the Pro-Ams. He is now on the pack of the pros now. Yeah, Pascal Costa up 14. Yeah,
it'd be really interesting to see where he gets to. We've seen a couple of times actually from Costa where he started deep in the field and had to work his way through in previous seasons of the Porsche Cup series that we run here.
Also,
it'd be interesting to see how he gets on later in the race.
It's extreme dark lights, isn't it, on the track?
Yeah, it's like we're deep into sunset here. So slipstream fully in effect, everyone bunching back up in towards the first chicane here, but all single file for the first dozen, maybe more.
So do you think it's vital that Toth got ahead of Liszka there, stopping the Impulse boys working together?
I think so, yeah. No silly games then probably being able to be played here. Liszka, though, will try and attack and work his way forward as soon as he can. No, he's sitting waiting this time.
Well, we've got to factor in there is a fuel element to this. I know the average Porsche Cup race who don't, but these boys will need to fuel save.
Absolutely, and this is a track where you can do a lot of fuel saving.
Oh, for sure.
Advantage in that. So
that's especially if like I said earlier, if you can work together, it's amazing how much fuel you can save here.
Oh, yeah. Further down through the field, there's going to be a lot less fuel saving as people are trying to work their way forward. That's a spinner in the background.
Yep, just trying to see who that is.
Right?
Yeah, I think so. Looks like someone had to Glyn as well, Turner.
Yes, Sophia, right. Bondling back over the anti-cut curbs. An issue for Gabriel Schick.
3 wide, late 3 wide.
No.
Oh, he does it.
That's probably worked out better than expected. It still might not end up well.
Well, I think the clever trick was he knew the other two would have to back up because they're teammates, right? They don't want to career into each other. So
Tom Mueller's had an issue as well.
Yeah.
He's dropping down through the order.
Yeah, we've lost Tom
Still
Mueller.
off track, so I assume that's down on Ascari. But it's really not going well for him.
So Patrick getting the move done. Pascal Costa on the move, up 17.
I feel like we should almost have like a separate camera for Pascal Costa, just like a Costa watch, just to see where he's gone to. So P26, be really interesting, as I said before, to see where he gets to by the end of this race, because he's very good on the pit stops as well from memory. So we'll see if he can work his way further forward. Apologies there for the small technical difficulty there with the overlay.
Oh, my pick, Brian Scolari, is dropping hard.
Will that be why he is, I believe...
Oh, you can't rejoin there?
No. Oh,
you've got to be... No words.
You can't move there.
Oh, reverse.
Yeah, the car pointing backwards there. I'm not sure who that is, but we'll get a replay. So Scolari here on the inside towards T1, and the car on the outside there is just going to hang on to it. I think it's shooting there. I'm not 100% sure. And then he's moved forward.
No, it's this one. Yeah, it's the car after. Yeah, he does move forward a little bit, but the other car
reverse. So the car went to go around the outside.
Yep.
Just got tagged in. So it's a little bit silly on his part. I'm sure that will be a penalty. Yeah, but protested.
The white and red car really did drive forward.
Yeah.
Into an active track on one of the busiest, hardest technical corners on the track.
Certainly did. Up at the front though, no change, and based off of what this race probably will be like, be a massive amount of change. We might see a swap at the front, but that would probably be facilitated. Lucas Talman.
I love that. The only car taking a look, Talman.
Yeah. Well, of course.
Yeah. I like him. Yes, he's very aggressive, but 95% of the time it doesn't result in an incident. Yes, Spa, I made my thoughts clear, wasn't the brightest. It was desperate. Yeah. There was zero skill or craft in it. It was just desperate. But yeah, I love his racecraft. I love his overtaking aggression.
Pascal Costa has cleared all of the AM drivers at this point, up to P23. Leader in that class is Heller Sequeira in P24.
He's going to lose position here from avoiding your teammate. It's going to... Oh no, they're all good.
Sure.
This debris system, you can see every stone.
But we can't see the cars because of the sunlight at the minute. We can see the stones, but we can't see the sun. Or we can't see the cars.
But you can see the debris, yeah.
So you mentioned Talman there in P12. He's at the back of basically the pro train that's broken away from the pro am train led by Marcel Maroch. So that's all getting quite interesting and spicy. Talman's in a position though where yes, he could feel safe there, but he's 5 seconds off the lead. If he wants to win the race, if he wants to score big points, he can't sit in P12 the entire time. He is going to have to try and work his way forward at some point. Didn't catch what happened here to this man, Gabriel Schick. I think it was the opening lap or else the second lap, heading down towards the sky. Oh, no. Colby Warren has come round. No, don't move. Oh. I think everyone's just about going to get on. That's such a sketch.
I still want to call it a dangerous rejoin.
Oh, it definitely is. He's flick spit into incoming traffic. Just dropped it on the way in. Yeah, once it goes, it goes. And I think he's thought, yeah, I've got enough room here to flick this back round, and he's got away with it, but I look dimly upon that.
Yeah, because everyone had to use massive amounts of skill to avoid him, and it was all caused by his lack of skill in the corner.
Yes.
So he asked more of other people of himself than himself. Pascal Costa
can in action once again. Up 22. So at this rate, he'll be leading the race by halfway through lap 9.
Late move, really late move. I think he's just going for aggression here, like as in
he has to.
Psychologically,
Also, he's still sort of working his way through pro-ams who know, yeah, there's no point.
Correct.
There's absolutely no point in fighting Pascal Cossa, because Cossa has one objective, one mission, and that is get as far up the field as he can.
Gordon Hay dropping a few positions. My picks have not bowled well throughout the race, some incidents here and there.
Only the one retirement from the race so far, that's Lucas Seidel. Entirely sure what happened to him, but...
So this is what happened to Gordon. Let's see.
Yeah, take a look at what happened to Gordon Hogg here. It's up the inside. Oh, that's deep.
Yeah, way too deep.
Yeah, just blitz it straight through and just take your medicine.
The Vettel line. No, he went around the cones now, just full Vettel it, bam, straight through.
Straight.
And then George Russell it and say, no, I'll take the pen.
Very good, very good. Not quite a breakaway, but a little bit of separation between the front two and David Toth here in P3. So, not sure if tactics are starting to come into play, but yeah, still pretty much the same line of drivers. Actually,
Liska ahead of Toth. That's huge. If he can make it stick.
If he can make it stick. Now, these boys best not scrap too much, otherwise they'll lose the front two. So they need to sort this out very, very quickly.
Why didn't his teammate give him the draft there? Why did he?
Interesting call.
Why didn't he move over to give Liska the draft?
I'm not sure, but that gap has come out to nearly a second.
Because now Liska's going to find himself, instead of P2, he's going to be P5.
Potentially.
Oh, wait, I heard a...
You almost heard a downshift there, unless
Yeah.
he double upshifted when he should have. We just cut on board to him, but no harm done, really, though they have lost.
But then again,
more ground here.
I mean, it's a long shot, but the Impulse teams are slightly different teams, right? They are Impulse Racing and Impulse Racing Bataan, but surely they're, you know...
Yeah, surely they will be working together here.
Yeah, it's just strange because essentially he gave Toth the draft all the way down the straight there.
Yeah, looks like a huge lap here for David Toth, though. Now that he's held off Liska, can he get back into sort of clear slipstream range?
A couple of movers and shakers. Brian Scalaria's battling with... Hey, my picks are fighting.
Yeah, they're fighting amongst each other for 31st and 32nd, so solid for where Haga needs to be. Iglesias has got ahead of Sequeira with a Pro-Am lead. The ACA esports drivers sort of swapping around a little bit.
Salvatore Lane on the move, up 22. Actually, ghosting Pascal Costa. Costa's up 23 in 20th. Salvatore Lane, 22nd, up 22. So them two making it look easy.
Yeah, really impressive for Larney. He's almost just followed Costa through to a point. Costa's maybe just a little bit further up the road now, but really impressive stuff from Larney. It's a huge move up the inside from Julian Murray. That's wide, a little bit deep, and slightly on the ambitious side. The ground these games just have to get back up again.
We've had a joke submitted in chat from Teague. These drivers would like to drop the hammer, but they'd have to catch him first.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Hello, Teague, my teammate from Nord 24. Well, the Nord 6, sorry. The Nord 5.
Nord 5.5. Patrick Barth here, looking up towards the inside of Corby, but not going to make that stick. Looking back towards Christian Intalura, side by side. Tom Euler there. Euler's going to hang on to that position further down the field here. So Tom Euler not having the best of days in Pro-Am, down in P37, and the top Pro-Am is Roche there in P12. So probably not going to make up that kind of ground, but we'll see what Tom can do through the rest of the sections. He picks up the spot on Levin Chani there. Works his way a little bit further forward.
What other race do you get a 9K in 17th, a 9K in 19th, a 10K in 3rd, 9K in 6th? It's insane. Absolutely stacked.
Balish Pala there, working his way past Gordon Marshall.
Yeah, he's on the move.
So Pala having that issue at the start where he got turned, turned to the one sort of spinner, shall we say.
Yeah.
He's back now to just one off where he started, so he's chugging his way back through the field really, really nicely here. But he's very much deep in Pro-Am territory here, trying to work his way through. So again, these guys aren't necessarily fighting for or fighting with power, but every position does matter when it comes to the standings overall within your class.
So yeah, Lucas Talman definitely looking like it was just blowing his quali. 'Cause he's up with his teammates now, Ivan Vargas and Gabriel Sisk, 8, 9, and 10. He's hanging on, they're working as a pack, but...
Well, they're not actually working as a pack. So this was a pack of 10, 11 that was all line astern, and Talman's tried to work his way forward, and these guys are massively separated from the top 7 now. There's 4 seconds of a gap between.
But they're all team checkmate.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened here. Vargas and Lazarus aren't. So maybe these guys all started to...
Oh, I see Vargas as checkmate.
Oh, sorry, yes, you're right.
But yeah, you're right, they are disconnected.
Yeah, they're completely disconnected from the top group. It's going to be really hard.
And at Monza, that disconnection's huge, especially with a pit stop needed. Massive.
Yeah.
But you called it. Philip Hammer's working well with the Impulse team, so hopefully he's done enough. You can fuel save enough from the lead. You do need to just... It's out of your hands. You've got to trust the guy behind you. You lift where you lift, and you just... It has to be what it is. You can't... If you start defending ghosts, you'll be behind at the pit stop anyway.
Yeah. In Hammer's position, what he needs to do if he wants to win this race, really, is lift in such a way that it's costing the guys behind lap time, where they can't fuel save efficiently and can't just do it clean and how they want to do it. So that means being a little bit tactical in how you do it, making sure that if you're going to lift, you lift really early and make the guys almost have to react to you, but not to do it in such a way where it looks like a brake check.
Gotcha, yeah.
Otherwise, the car that's third in line is probably the car that's going to save the most here. Yeah, Colby Warren pulling off to the side here. That's... Ooh, okay.
I think that's allowed at Monza.
I think so too, but...
The exit's super strict here, but the entry isn't.
Yeah, we're going to see what's happened here from the looks of it.
Yeah, I assume a rear tap.
Parabolica.
Bit of net code.
So, I think he's just fired it up the inside, and then it's... Oh, no, never mind, he was the car on the outside. Yeah, it's a big hit.
Yep. You done.
So, yeah, car on the inside there. Didn't catch who it was. It is a bit dark out there, and I can't quite tell who it's who. Hearing that it potentially was Salvatore Lorne, so all of Lorne's good work might be undone in the steward's office at the end of this, but he's up in another spot where Bjorklund slow off of the Della Roger chicane. Lorne up into the top 20.
That's bright. Sorry, ignore me.
Yeah, Dave was just looking at something else there.
Yeah. Don't mind me. Squirrel.
Back to the front. So Philip Hammer's still leading the way. We're just beyond the 15-minute mark here. So
it is a 4-car breakaway now. Daniel is, well, I say breakaway. He's 1.2 seconds back, but that could easily be enough that it starts meaning you either have to push or just stick with your fuel saving. They are a pack of a team, though. You've got Daniel over Matt Varga and Matt, I can't pronounce the surname, working together.
Mahaladesh.
Yeah, what you said.
We'll go with that. It looks like Varga was sort of the head of that train, has had an issue on this lap, and then everyone sort of got separated off because of that. Further back to this sort of second peloton almost. Talman ahead of Schick, Vargas, and then Lazarus has slipped to the back of the train, and then in the Pro-Am train, that's sort of leading the way. So it's between
Pascal Costa making moves.
This little group. Yeah, Costa back to Costa Cap up 26.
Yeah.
It'll get a bit harder from here, but he is absolutely flying on his way through.
Well, yeah, after Gordon Marshall, 4.6k, it's his first 9k driver.
Only Mate Varga has a quicker lap, to the best of my knowledge, than Pascal Costa in this race. So looking back at Patrick Barth, let's see what's happened into the first kid.
Yeah, he's just...
That's deep. Just let off the bridge, let it roll, let it roll. Take the cones, yep. Throttle it through. Don't need to give it up quite that early. So
it is an art to practice how to maximise the minimum loss of a slowdown.
Yeah. Just make sure you don't go through corners.
Correct.
get it served quickly before,
In a straight.
yeah, in a straight. It does something dodgy.
The amount of people I see who don't know that in a corner it essentially pauses and or penalises if you carry.
Side by side into Ascari is not usually the most optimal way to go, but Brian's still the area.
Yeah, there must have been an exit issue for the car behind, because to get that kind of a run up to Ascari, I assume he messed up the second Lesmo.
Potentially. So that's the move done on Frank Sikorsky.
Right, that pack at the lead. Oh, Lucas Talman's been passed by his teammate Vargas. They are 5.5 seconds out back though, but the top 7 are all reconnected again now. If we can,
yes.
If we can just get Liska ahead of Toth, we have all of our teams connected. But Toth is not giving it up.
And Toth, I think, is in the prime position here.
I agree.
P3 is usually the best place to save. You get maximum fuel save without the massive checkup that you normally get from 4th on back.
Yep, fully agree.
So on board with David Toth. We'll be interested, actually, if we could just stay on board. Hopefully nothing too exciting happens further on back to cut away from this, but just to see into like Ascari and Parabolica, to see how much he might be lifting into those corners, to see how much fuel saving is happening. So not short shifting, that's normally not a thing that we do in iRacing to save fuel, although we would in real life.
Yeah, crazy.
So up in 6th gear.
Yep.
That's quite an early left. Not super early, but enough where you're going to get maximum benefit.
Enough for his tyres as well.
Exactly. That's something as well that we haven't had to consider. Will these guys be able to take tyres? If so, how many tyres? Is there a value in taking 2 tyres?
Yeah, you would think so at Monza, I suppose. What are the temps? No, the temps are freezing cold. If they look after it, they're probably best. I don't know on the time difference. I doubt you can get 4.
I would say it's unlikely. Incident for Glenn Bronson Turner into Ascaris. That's going to be the same thing as Colby Warren. It is.
That downshift really is hurting him.
Yeah.
Especially that early. It feels like it's adding safety because it impacts you how quickly you slow. But the problem puts it all over the nose, and then under braking, you feel like you're too peaky.
Yeah. It's quite easy to unload that rear axle, and if you're already turning as it happens, then yeah, issues can happen. Chicken Lazarus scrapping for P10. Not quite going to plan for them. I think Lazarus wants to try and work his way forward, but he's sort of getting boxed out by...
Checkmate, checkmate, checkmate.
Yeah.
It's
like
good to see.
at this point.
Yeah, good smothered checkmate. I pulled that off for the first time recently.
Yeah, I'd seen. I was watching.
Oh, you was watching?
I was watching when it happened, yeah.
Oh, genius. Well, I fouled, technically.
You had a couple of cracks at it.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you was watching. Yeah, Corey Lazarus is 7.9k, which is applaudable. I don't think I'll ever get there.
Tegan Chat's saying, I have a hunch some of these guys are using this as pest practice. It's a good shout.
It is a really good shout. It's a bit early.
It's never too early to try and get dialed in with the Porsche Cup for pest
But we do find the ARL Porsche Cup has always is super stacked for iRacing. So yeah, we assume that's why. So yeah, it is a valid shout. Sam said that all along.
Pascal Costa still actually has a pro license from Contenders, I guess. So that shows the sort of quality that we've got in operation here this evening.
Because if we ever run this when Pesk is on and active, it's a completely different ballgame.
Yeah. So back on Costa Cam, up to
Costa
16, and he's in the group here with the sort of leading Pro-Am drivers and also Balazs Pala here. So it's going to be like the first driver that's maybe going to give him a really, really hard time, because this is for position in class as well. I know he's got ahead of Tamar Simon as well, who's again sort of having a tough day. He worked his way forward and has now dropped back a little further. But yeah, tough start to the season for Tamash, considering the strength of
Liska looking. That's...
It's not as good as Costa there looking.
Yeah. Oh, Costa, sorry, yeah.
Same livery.
Same livery.
Same livery, and it's on a schedule car, so you know it's it's a very likely outcome. But no, this is Costa side by side now with Balazs Pala, who might back out of this just to live to fight another day. Costa's going to take no prisoners here this evening.
And just a reminder, that guy he just eloquently passed was 9.4k. It's tough out there. Question, Jamie, would you wish contenders on your enemy?
Yeah, I would. On my enemy, absolutely.
All right.
I'd wish that on. I'd wish that on most people, to be fair.
All right, I badly worded that then.
Thankfully, I've
It's
never
tough.
had to actually go through contenders as we know it. I never actually had to qualify in for PES because I grandfathered in from the World Championship Grand Prix series. I got
Right.
top 15.
And so as long as you keep a top 15 every
As
year,
long as you hold top 15, you're good to go next year.
but otherwise it's a gladiator pit, isn't it?
It absolutely is, yeah.
It looks like the toughest racing I've ever seen.
Back at the front, will we see any movers forward? No. And interestingly, Soltashek is pushing Philip Hammond. He's not just sitting behind him in CM field, he's pushing him down the straight. Interesting strategy call. Considering these guys technically aren't teammates. Well, maybe they are, but maybe they're not.
Hammer used to be Impulse, for those who are recently watching and we haven't mentioned it 30 times earlier, you didn't hear us. But yes, Philip Hammer no longer drives for Impulse, but they are 1-2 former teammates. David Toff in P3 is... I don't know if we can get teams on the overlay briefly. I know it's quite wide, but there is a gaggle of teammates.
To be wider than my car into the last corner defending for a win, basically. But
It's going to be quite wide.
it will be quite wide.
And I can hear Lewis probably shaking his head like, why, dude? Oh, why?
He just said earlier, I don't want to break the overlay, and that's fair.
It is fair. Maybe he can carry on working on that Costa cam we asked for half an hour ago.
Yeah. 24.5 minutes into the race, so I think we're getting towards the territory where drivers could pit and make it to the end on fuel here.
Well,
It's close. Like, bearing in mind, right, so 60% of the time.
team-wise, you can pit. You can't pit without a team because you need people to come out with.
You need slipstream, and also you need to come out not in traffic if you can help it, as in AM drivers or towards the tail end of Pro-Am. So that's got to be taken into consideration as well. Like what's your pit delta? Where are you going to come out into?
Yeah. Yeah, so Hammer obviously is the most vulnerable, so he needs to definitely go the longest to eye up his choices. Whereas the Chesney boys can essentially pit when they want, and really, because they come out as a pack.
It's still, though, I think, in Hammer's interest, especially as the lead car, to pit as late as possible.
I agree. To get those...
Just run the field.
Correct, yeah. You don't want to be coming out on high fuel on your own, and they're setting 12 litre, 9 litre, 6 litre lap times.
Gasher and Mirage.
Our teammates just hit each other.
That's incredible.
Yeah, they looked like they were trying to play games, but it was a very poorly crafted game.
I think there's a saying for that I can't say on broadcast, but the initials are FAFO.
Oh, no, I was going to say.
Yeah, we're not going to mess around with up the inside into the Delarogia. We'll hold single file and wait for the inevitable, which is Pascal Costa to...
Anthony Bonand's dropping, I think I saw. Well, at least lost a position or two there.
Yeah, he's losing a bit of time off the back of Tom Euler at the moment. As Monty Lampert works his way forward as well. So take a look back at Bernal. Or chicane things.
Let's see. Bonk.
It's actually well held.
Very well held.
So a little love tap from the rear. He's able to continue
Oh,
on
we missed Corey Lazarus getting past Ivan Vargas, who had, out of the team checkmate guys, it is the Vargas who seems to have been struggling the most with little drops in time here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, Corey Lazarus has broken the checkmate club.
He's found the path on the way through.
Do you play chess?
Not really, no.
So you're on my level, cool.
no, you do puzzles and play games. And like I've maybe played about 4 games of chess in my life.
Oh, okay, no, I play 4 a day.
So Vargas kind of just let that one go. I'm not sure whether he had a slowdown. Yeah, possibly a slowdown. Soltashek.
Hammer's in? Is that my scene?
No, Hammer's...
Oh, Hammer's dropping.
Oh, no. What's happened here? Has he just blown the chicane? Because that looks like he's like blown the chicane and had to server slow down. We're going to get a replay.
Here we go.
Oh, he's cut the inside.
He's got a slow down.
He's got a slow down penalty. No, never mind.
Oh.
He's stuck in first. Never mind. Wow.
This, of all the hardware failures, and I've had thousands, there is nothing in this universe more infuriating than the shift one. My first IMSA win was taken away from me.
Oh, brutal.
Because of shifts. I had TK in the race as well, P3. And my engine was just roaring.
Toth is taking the lead now over Saltashek. Interesting. This is like doubly tough now for Hammer because he's not being able to save fuel and now he's at the back of the train.
Plus, he's frustrated.
Yeah.
And you start hearing gremlins at this point. Every shift now you're listening because you're looking down, rather, sorry, to sort of make sure it clicks in.
Mahalad's edge, sort of, I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe he's got to slow down as well. He pulled left and then sort of inside, and now Hammer's attacking towards the inside.
Hammer's really caught up to this pack as well, a lot faster than I thought. He was slightly disconnected. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Maybe a slowdown, but it's a strange place.
I think Mahaladesh had a slowdown, maybe cut too much off of Ascari and has had to like back a little bit. But yeah, it's a little bit weird. Pit stops
too wide.
To happen. Costa in, Pala in as well, and Hatpatcher as well. So first pit stop's happening. I suspect these guys, well, yeah, a chunk of these guys have had to fight their way through.
Correct, yeah.
Costa, so probably not being fuel saving at all. So into the pits they come. It'd be interesting to note pit stop times as well. But it's all about to kick off from here.
Yeah, the biggest problem with shifters, I'd say, is the wires, right? The wires that we lob around, spin around our wheel, they wear so quickly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm going to say it because experience, but that shift issue doesn't just happen once, unfortunately.
No.
It is just a matter of time. Hopefully not this race.
Pit stop watch, so not necessarily cost to watch, but Balaj Pala has got back out ahead of Pascal.
Yeah, really quick pit stop.
1.7 seconds quicker in, in terms of stationary time.
But yeah, like you say, Costa had to gain 28 positions, whereas Balaj Pala really just...
He was where he was, but also bear in mind, Pala did have the half spin in the opening lap and lost a chunk of positions there.
It looks like they just went for different calls. One went for full push and overtake, one went for massive save and fingers crossed.
Yeah, I back Costa to work his way straight back up towards Pala, to be fair. If that is the case.
Yeah.
So back to the front, these guys are still circulating.
So Toth gained 2 through that Hammer hardware failure, right? Something, obviously, I assume Selchuk just didn't get out of the way of time or misunderstood what Hammer was doing, and
possibly.
because he might have, it would have looked like that's not even how you serve a slowdown, right? Being in first gear on exit, so it might have been quite scary.
Well, this quartet still scrapping away. Jake, Talman, Lazarus, and Vargas.
And yeah, it's Shisk ahead of Talman now. Larne in.
These guys haven't worked brilliantly together, but yeah, Salvatore Larne, the next driver in.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't look like they've swapped because of draft or fuel. It's like they've swapped due to mistakes.
Like, or just fighting in general.
Oh,
it's...
Don't come back. Yeah, don't come back. There you go.
Oh, no. Oh,
wait.
Julian Murray just dropped it on his own anyway.
I think he was nervous and looking in the mirror thinking, don't rejoin into me. Then it's like, oh, thank God. And then, yeah.
And then just dropped it on exit.
Yeah, just distracted.
A lot happened there, but also for little reason. We'll go on board with Mary and see what's happening. So, a little cut back over the inside curve. Oh, just too much right foot, really.
Lucky to not get collected though, so
lives to fight another day. So I suspect we're going to get
a lot of pit stops.
A lot of pit stops over the next couple of laps. Be interesting to see if anyone can go longer than the group that they're in. Time will tell. Saltashek once again pushing.
Yeah, he's done a lot of that. Why would you push, not just lift?
You tell me.
No, I can't think.
I'm not sure for the reason. Unless he wants to make sure that he can push the car and then immediately lift. so the car behind can't do anything safe. Because bear in mind, this is Soltysek surrounded by
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe he just doesn't want to give Daniel Ola, the car behind, an opportunity to send it up the inside.
Yeah, maybe.
Everyone continuing on. So
Corey Lazarus ahead of... No, he was already ahead of
Marcus.
Marcus. Yeah.
He's taking a look at Lucas Talman, which...
These guys are fighting over scraps and just dropping, tanking back.
Pro-Am
lead fight.
Gebski and Mirage.
I think Mirage got that.
Does indeed. He's going to hang on full now.
Because
he has the short line through Curva Grande as well.
Correct. So. Doesn't look that short, but it really is impactful.
It makes a massive difference. Though, still holding on to the side draft around the outside is...
It looks like it's a bit too much wing, maybe, because...
Yeah, looks like it. He's going to hang on.
Really lost out.
That's so deep. He's going to have to give that up.
Yeah.
And a chunk of time. And a couple of positions.
Surely a slowdown.
Must be.
He's parked it. No.
We have put that into the rules that you're not allowed to do that. So he best not do that.
And he wasn't forced off the track. He drove himself off the track. Yeah, no, that's no way to service like that.
So Mirage to the outside now. And Gebski is going to try and hang on. No.
That was a lovely push on his teammate.
Yeah.
That was a, go on, son. Have it.
Go on without me.
No, but awful way to serve a slowdown. iRacing prison, 2 weeks.
I assume he did get that serve, though. Philip Hammer into the pits, and nobody else from that lead pack.
Wow.
So I feel like that kind of says it all.
Yeah. It was never going Hammer's way.
It was not. Now, what this might do, though, for him is this probably looks like the in-lap for everyone, and everyone now wants track position. Yep. Fuel saving out the window, full push, get as far up the field as you can.
Hammer's pit stop is,
19.2.
well, 19.2. That doesn't add up to me.
It's, well, bear in mind, I don't think he's been able to save it all. So the guys who pitted earlier, I think, were pitting as early as they could.
Right.
So we'll see how that shakes out.
Yeah.
It's a longer pit stop than the others. Palo, that was only stationary for 16.9 seconds. So, again, a lot to sort of...
Well, we'll know more soon.
Yeah.
I suppose as long as he stays ahead of that, we will, the checkmate group. But I worry he's going to be, he's going to be 6th, 7th, that sort of range.
Yeah, well, he was at the back of the train and had to pit early.
Yeah.
I suspect everyone's going to come in now. Davidoff has been able to break clear as Daniel Ola has made the move on Soltysek.
Yeah, and that's key.
So this is going to be another case where Davidoff is being right place, right time, kept his cool, and as others have started to do things around him, he's been able to break free. He's not completely out of draft, but if he's saved more fuel...
They say you don't accidentally get 10k.
No, you don't. Lishka pits. The Shezhi guys all continue, as does Soltysek. Interesting. If everyone else pits, then that to me indicates that the Shezhi guys were really good on the
Yeah, Talman in, Corey in, Vargas in. I'll keep an eye on it.
If Marshall comes in, then yeah, we are sort of in that realm as well. Yeah,
they're all in. Yeah, Marshall.
So we'll keep an eye on pit stop times and see who moves and who shakes.
Just Sazy and Shosazek, that's it. On Shosazek's back ahead of Ola.
But
they're,
well, this might actually be part of the strategy. Be it Soltysek into trying to make moves to let Toth get up the road and almost guarantee himself another race victory.
Hammer's pit stop was indeed slow. Lucas Talman 17.6, Sisk 18, Corey Lazarus a second quicker, Tamas Simon 2.5 seconds quicker.
It's just whether these guys are like going for 1 lap shorter, 1 lap longer.
Yeah, Liska a 17.4. That's many seconds quicker than Hammer. Can Hammer still...
16.7, so that's...
Will Hammer even be in the draft of the Shezhi guys anymore? Will these guys ever pit?
Who knows? Find out next week on Dragon Ball Z.
Right, gonna have some too wide in here.
Something's happened to Pascal Costa. He is not where he should be. I'm pretty sure of that. He's well behind like AM drivers as well. Something's gone wrong somewhere in Costa Cam world.
Yeah.
Sejic guys finally pit along with Saltashek. It's getting very dark out there now, so it's quite hard to actually see what's going on. So
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Costa. It must have been before he pitted or on the outlap, but yeah, he's lost a ridiculous amount of time.
Yeah, he's probably 20 some odd seconds off where he should be.
Right, we'll keep an eye on the shows. He's pit times. I'm assuming 17s. Yeah, 17 flat almost from David Toff. A 7, like all of these times low.
16.6 for Saltashek. So he's probably trying to stick in range. Meanwhile, Mahaladesh, 19.1. So he's going to fall off the back of this pack.
Philip Hammer is...
He's there, but he's off the back of the pack kind of a thing. Lishka, though, has got ahead of Varga and Ola.
What a send. Liska to P2.
It's a great outlap as well. It's up in the second place, but David Toth 3.4 seconds up the road. So even if he has underfueled it, chances are he'll be able to make it to the end with some moderate fuel saving and still win this race.
Yeah, so the slower pit stops went to Matt, Philip, Siski, and they're the ones, yeah, a little step back. They are a little disconnected. I'm sure they can get back in the draft. But I think the winner of the pit stop phase, unexpectedly, went under the radar completely, was Liska. Oof.
I've just seen her. He cut a heap off of the inside. If it's not a slowdown, it's not an off track. That's incredible. But I suspect you might have to give up a little bit of time for that. That's a scrap for 22nd position. And it is the Pro-Am leader, Franek Sikorsky. Sorry, Am leader, Franek Sikorsky. I'm forgetting because he's been moved up to Pro-Am in
TCR.
So Pascal Costa's back down P25. He is 46 seconds off the lead. And he was in and amongst
Hammer.
Balash Pala.
Hammer's just moved up a position.
Hammer has got ahead of Mahaladesh. Hammer has the fastest lap of the race as well, with 148.4. So he has been moving, but leading the entire race, and then the hardware issue, he could not get out of first gear, has really hampered his chances of probably even getting a podium from here. But time will tell, as Lishka and Varga.
Yeah, Liska's
second. That's going to bunch up. Davidov pretty much has this race won. He just needs to keep it on the black stuff from here to the end. And if he needs to see a fuel, just...
This has been Liska's season so quick, but how do you mount an attack against this many chasing cars? And this, we've seen this play over time and time again.
Yeah.
It's just...
There's a little move there from Varga. Let's go up the inside. I think it's safe for these guys just to live the fight another day. 4.4 seconds now is the gap to Davidov, who, as I mentioned before, he was third in line as well. Then got right place, right time, and has been able to clear off into the distance.
Can we try and find out what happened to our Pascal Costa? I assume it was around the pit stop phase, but I think he's lost. I mean,
trying to work out where he was, but
20 seconds, I think.
Yeah, it's 20, 22 seconds, something in that realm anyway.
So we're not looking for a slowdown, we're looking for something facing the wrong way.
He would be P12 without whatever issue that he's had, because that's where Tamer Simon has got to. And Simon was behind him before the pit stops.
Yeah, Lane's 15th, and he was, yeah, a couple of positions back from the relative position of Costa.
Yeah. So something's happened to Pala as well. Not sure exactly what. A couple of other issues. So Philippe Verber has had an issue earlier in the race, as has Quinton Rochereson. Both of them are out of the race. Tom Euler is 2 laps down. Still, I believe, out on circuit somewhere, but it's not going well for him, fortunately. Back up to the battle for a second. This is going to rage for the remainder of this race, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, an impulse move back there. That's going to be huge for Liska.
Hammer's just broke the door down on that one and forced his way through. An unhappy Shezhikar there in Daniel Ola, who sadly my pick is not going to win this race from P6 from here unless pigs learn how to fly.
Yeah, Liska, Rafael, and Philip Hammer, 3-4-5.
Roche and Larne are scrapping. So Larne from the back of the field has got up in towards the fight for Pro-Am win. Now, if he wins this, that is going to be incredible.
I mean, long shot, but what if Philip Hammer's strat is push to end? Because of what happened, do you think he put in the extra fuel to be like, okay, I'm not saving to the end, I'm going to go full attack, like full attack, no lifting? Or do you think that's too risky of a call?
Well, the thing with Hammer is, though, he was stationary for like 2.5 seconds more than those around him. So he probably actually does have the fuel to make it to the end.
Yeah.
Their infighting has allowed him to actually stick with the group and then start to make moves again. Bear in mind, he's 6 seconds off the lead that he was in 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's true. Vargas and Corey Lazarus having a bit of a battle. Change of position.
So, top 3 battle in Pro-Am here. Gajer, Mirage, Larne. Larne's done so well from the back of the field. He wasn't able to get a clean qualifying lap in at all.
Yeah, up 29.
He might fall foul of a potential incident from earlier in the race. He's in sort of like hip checks and all.
And it might have been... Who was involved in the qualifying moment?
Oh, yes, he was involved in qualifying.
Yeah, one of the two will be getting a pen.
But we didn't quite get a brilliant look at it. But he's worked his way through pretty well here. But he's going to have to fight off the teammates who could quite easily work together. Or they might go rogue and try and pick up the win just for themselves. Larne's strategy here must be to get Mirage off the back of Gajer.
Yeah.
And make it a 1v1 fight twice over rather than a 2v1 and spend the rest of the race trying to take on 2 of them at the same time. Pick one of them off and then fight them 1v1.
Lana is showing the body language of, look, if you want to defend, you're going to have to put your car there because I am sending it, mate.
Great move up the inside.
Perfect.
So that's up to 30.
Still in the draft, so mission failed.
So we'll keep our eyes on that one as we come towards the end of this race.
That's the worst feeling, messing up a Lesmo, because feels like quite a long straight on the run after.
Yeah. Leader in AM is Franek Sikorsky. He's got Pascal Costa now behind him. So Costa's sort of working his way back up through, but it's not been the race that he was looking for. So P22, he would almost certainly be in a comfortable P12 and working towards that quartet that Lucas Talman has now fallen off the back of. So he's done all the hard work to get himself up there. He's now fallen a little bit further back. So we haven't seen why. We'll find out at some point, but Costa there making sort of a straightforward move up the inside of Sikorsky into Ascarino into P21. He has 6.5 seconds to the next Shezhikar, which is Martin Lambert.
So Shezzy's sitting at 1 and 2. Yeah, I mean, they've got David Toff's 5.2 seconds ahead. That's easy to forget.
That gap hasn't changed massively over the last couple of laps. Oh, no.
Too much.
Salvatore Larne has come around.
Yeah, that's just letting frustration get the better of him with team games.
He's done all the hard work.
Yeah, and I think you get in that mentality. I mean, I've been there when 2 teammates are playing games, legal games. They're allowed to do this, but it does half get frustrating. You know, it does half. To be honest, he's just looped it. I don't even think that's out of frustration. He was halfway to getting the move done. Yeah. And he's now, 8 seconds realistically off the back of that and has cars in between him. So sadly for Salvatore, that's not going to be a Pro-Am win for him. And he was so close to doing basically the first challenge in the Pro-Am class. So the gaggle to definitely watch is Liska, Raphael, Philip Ham, Daniel Ola, Matt and Gabriel Sisk. Sorry, no, the others. It's a pack of. No, it's a pack of
6.
2 to 7.
Yeah.
Pack of 6. Yeah, absolutely insane. Absolutely nothing in it.
They're all sort of scrapping a bit. Not massively, but a bit. There's actually quite a bit of fuel saving going on from the looks of it.
Yes, from the looks of it.
From the strategy guys, which is why Hammer's been able to make moves. He's been able to catch the group, and he probably has the fuel to get to the end, whereas everyone else was trying to get track position.
100%.
And
it's so
still
easy.
having to save.
So easy to make moves here, and intimidation when the person needs the lift in any shape or form.
So Hammer on the charge.
Oh, late send.
Up the inside. Hammer's going to have to just sort of concede some ground here. Oh, that's forceful. That's very forceful. Hammer's lost out big time there.
That was
pleased.
Oh, Liska is off.
Liska's off. Liska from 2nd/3. The fight with Matteo Varga.
We get a look at that.
A replay. So what's happened here into the second chicane? Oh, he just went deep, has he? He's cut, and then dropped it.
Wow, that's the third break of traction we've completely seen.
It's such a surprise as well.
Yeah.
He did take a lot of curb.
All on his own.
All on his own. Crucial mistake there from Frank Liska. So he drops down now into P7. He's kind of in no man's land. Actually, he might fall into the clutches of Schick, Vargas, and Lazarus as well. That quartet that had been scrapping for quite some time. Talman has now dropped off the back of. So there's Pascal Costa.
So is this what happened earlier in the race, or is this Costa?
No, he's just pulled over and he's called it. He's called it a day there, so that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Tamer Simon as well as following. Is that car tracking straight? It is. Okay. I thought for a second there was the light that his car wasn't pointing in the right direction. But he's dropped ground as well, so he was P12. It's a lot of ground that he's lost. Going into P15.
Okay, this is what happened to man's side. Oh, inside, yeah, he's completely gone. Oh, you were right. He actually oversaved it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, I think he would have still died had he not initiated the save, but yeah, I don't think that was tracking straight. Are we seeing a bit of tyre wear out there? Seeing a lot more the mistakes starting to add up.
Really surprised me because track temp is only 20 degrees centigrade. So it's as cool as you're really going to get. And these guys are sort of struggling out there. Back with Sophia Ray and Max Nevinchani.
Sophia Ray had the incident earlier in the race. I'm trying to remember what caused it. There was a kerfuffle in T2, I think, at the start of the race, and
no, it's the spin in second chicane.
That's it.
One run back with curbs. And leader Franek Sikorsky having another good day out in the Apex Racing Leagues.
I mean, Sikorsky looks like a great driver, great potential.
Yeah, absolutely. And we once again have a trio up front for Pro-Am. Gouger, Roche, and Gebsky's come back into it as well. So how many moves ahead is Gebsky going to look? Team checkmate driver. Back up though for second position, Varga, Soltashek, Ola Haladesh.
Nice driving
in there as well.
Soltashek looks really good all day.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's crying shame we lost Hammer from the lead. Some cars leaning on each other. Really doesn't want to allow the teammate draft. Wanted in on that.
Oh.
And
no, that's weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Gebsky there. He lent, because he really wanted the draft and then decided, nah. Corby warrant in. I wonder if that's a drive-through. I'll keep an eye on it. Sam sets quite strict track limits. Yep, Colby Warren drive-through, 8 seconds.
Baptiste to come in as well. From a strong position in and fall down through the order. Same for Christian Interlura back into the pits.
So still the Chazy boys leading 1-2 in Pro and in Pro-Am. Chazy boys leading 1 and 2 and 3. And in Am, uncontended, I would say, Sikorsky looking very strong. But we are seeing the divide of the classes. The skill level at Monza is, it's tough out there.
It is.
Philip Hammer taking a look.
Just trying to work.
Oh, Vargas dropping. Well, they're battling ahead, so it's...
He's trying to just filter into line here.
It's tough to look at either the telemetry or the screen, right? Shovsek's done a very good job. Very good job. He's got
had an issue and has gone around. So I suspect that was contact with Lishka. So up the inside, beautiful chopper cam with the light in there as well. And
nah, he just wanted the left-hand side. You can't
move across.
You can't.
Just
yeah, exactly. There's a car there. Yeah, you went in with a car there. You can't enter two without.
It's not like that car on the left was behind and then jolted forward to get into that. No, like he's tracked out and spun himself.
Correct.
So Daventoff has now opened up a 7.7 second lead. That's pretty convincing at this point.
Yep, as long as he's got the fuel, but he wouldn't be pushing like this if he didn't.
Yeah.
So Daniel Ola, we missed it, got ahead of Chosacek, but I'm assuming these two have been had quite a few battles already today. But yeah, so David Ola is back ahead of Chosacek. So I had these Chazy eSport cars in my Nord 24 Split 2.
Yeah.
Loads of their P-Cups. So it was nice seeing them.
Bet you it wasn't nice getting overtaken by them.
No, not in our TCR.
Not in a TCR,
But we're built different. They don't want to touch our car.
Oh,
They'll come off damaged. It's hard to damage a TCR. Oh, so let's check. A little bit loose there.
Defensive driving from Daniel. So let's check right on the outside. Well, that's a big cut on the inside of T1. He might get away with that, but all fair so far. Will Daniel Ola have to concede that?
I don't know.
Varga.
Yeah, nearly clipped his teammate. Almost.
Varga's going to have a look up the inside here. This battle for second. He's got the move done.
Yeah, lovely send.
Very nice, very clean as well. And big defensive move there from Saltashag. It's all absolutely fair. But
yeah,
you know, to make a defensive move for the braking zone. He's going to make another one just to make sure. I mean,
Saltashag seems to be struggling a little bit of traction here. He seems just to step off from the exit of every corner compared to how he was earlier.
Yeah.
Let's just hope it's not fuel related and he's just trying to bleed off a little bit at every corner. It's the worst feeling in the world.
I think he just wanted to stop Ola from making a risky move up the inside, and like at the inside of Lesman would have been very, very silly. Gordon Haga.
Oh.
Wide and dropped it. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
All the brakes. That's a close one.
Yep.
It's a shame there for Gordon. So back with this leading group. It's going to be 2 laps to go, I think, as we cross the line here.
Fireworks?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Grab your popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. This will get fun. So Vargas holding the white line on the inside. Saltashag having to go the long way around. He's just going to get a push here from Daniel Ola.
Oh, no, he's lifting.
Oh, no.
And
Lishka's pitted. Is that for a drive-through or is that for fuel?
Chazy boys swapped positions there with each other.
Yeah, interesting. Maybe they're trying to line this up for the final lap. Maybe there's some tactics involved.
I'm not sure.
Lishka, I believe, is back out and away. It's still in P11.
Solskjaer
Big
it's
move.
through. Great racing from this bunch.
Yeah, it's excellent to watch.
Brilliant,
It's all
brilliant.
Pretty much fair. There might be some needle, and I'm sure.
Oh!
Never mind. That's quite the send up the inside. And does Solskjaer want to back out of it through Lesmo?
You've got to back on Lesmo too, right? Yeah.
But that then brings him back into the clutches of Varga. So we race all the way down.
Is Solskjaer saving? Was that just a monster send, or did Ola know he's lifting?
I suspect he is lifting.
Yeah,
He's
because
like defending, sort of like.
yeah, because he just seems
into places where
he seems too vulnerable.
Yeah. So has he undercooked it on field? Bear in mind, he was stationary for only 16.6 seconds. That is basically as little as anybody else in the field.
True. Compared to everyone around him, it's almost a second. So, yeah, we've seen him manage P2 all the race with Hammer and.
And he's sending up the inside of Ola. Ola, I guess, does not want to be the leader of this train into the final lap. And we are starting the final lap here. Davidoff leads by 10 seconds.
Big push. Sazy boys are pushing each other. They are going to be rapid. They are flying down the outside lane.
Solskjaer has no chance really here on the inside unless he breaks really, really late. A lot of movement behind between Mahaladesh and Hammer. Oh no!
Oh no.
He's overcooked it on the brakes.
Massively. Yeah, he's lost out to all of them there now.
Gonna have to take quite a sizable slowdown there.
That could be 1, 2, 3, 4 for Sazy. I think it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. And I didn't think any of the Sazy boys did anything wrong there. They pushed their one car ahead. They changed lanes. They were too wide. And I think Solskjaer just knew everything had to be, I need to brake as late as possible.
So our hopes of a big scrap in the last lap, it's kind of all happened too soon. Cutting through the chicane here. Going to give up time to Corey Lazarus, who's worked his way back up into P7.
Yeah, great result. I mean, Lazarus is ahead of every team checkmate driver now.
Yep.
He hasn't got a shot at Solskjaer, 3.5 seconds. But, I mean, this is the result when at the beginning of the season we thought might happen. The Sazy boys absolutely dominating. We haven't seen it yet, but
it's happened now.
It has happened now. 1, 2, 3, 4 in Pro, 1 and 2 in Pro-Am.
And Mirage has sort of broken clear of Gazher there for the Pro-Am win. And what's happened to Franek Sikorsky? He's dropped back behind the ACA esports guys in AM. I'll have to investigate
I assume fuel? Yeah, he's really dropped.
But Davidoff over the line to take another race win here in ARA Porsche Cup. Dominant win in the end. Played the strategy brilliantly and justly deserves his win. Philip Hammer trying to break up the monotony of the top four there, but it's a Shejik 1, 2, 3, 4, all Hungarian top four.
Yeah.
Really, really impressive stuff there. Marcel Mirage is going to probably come through to win in Pro-Am. He's got to wait just a little bit before he comes through the final corner here. Franishek Litschka there, not the day he was looking for down in P11, but Marcel Mirage looks like he's got the better of his teammate Gergo Gazher. He'll hang on for a Pro-Am victory. Salvatore Larney, he's worked his way back up to third in class, what could have been.
Yeah, I think he was
the quickest.
I think he was. Yeah, he was. But he wasn't his day. No qualifying.
Last corner scrap for Am. Steve Player's up the inside. He's going to do it.
He can't. I think he can have the.
Yeah, he's been able to cut that off. He's got the move done on Ruben Iglesias over the line. Steve Players wins in Am. That's a really good drive from the back of the field as well. So we've seen a number of really good drives from the back of the field. Helder Sequoia looks like he's maybe a little slow coming over the line, but he's happy enough, I think, to take third. Frank Sikorsky, having led so much of the Am race.
I don't know. He started celebrating before the finish line, so you could pull him on unjustly defending. You know,
maybe.
No, great racing. Really impressed. I was really impressed with the front runners there. You could tell it was high stakes. You could tell they were giving it all, but they gave each other. I'm not going to use the word space. Enough room for a very, very tight battle. Second chicane stuff from the front runners was just top class.
Yeah,
there were so many sends from that top, let's say 8 drivers.
Yeah,
I don't think a single one in the second chicane resulted in a dumb facing the wrong way.
Yeah, we had none of that. It was only literally the last lap with Soltashek where it just went sort of bowling up the middle of the Sheji guys.
Yeah.
And that sort of ended that big scrap for second position.
Really impressive
Well,
stuff.
We've got the results here. So David Toth wins by a comfortable 10.6 seconds. Managed that really, really well ahead of the Sheji drivers, Daniel Ola, Mate Varga, and Mate Mahaladesh. Then it's Rafael Soltashek. He fought bravely and gamely, but P5 is his end result there, just ahead of Philip Hammer, who led for a large part of this race, but a small technical issue and then just being in the wrong place at the wrong time means P6 for him. In the second sort of group of Pro-Am, Corey Lazarus was able to work his way forward and take P7 ahead of Gabriel Schick, Lucas Talman, and Franzek Lishka, rounding out the top 10. Not quite the result he was looking for. I suspect that we've lost someone from that list. I'm not sure where. Trying to find it, but
I think it was a fuel-related driver on the last lap.
I think it was maybe Vargas. We've lost Vargas from the... Yeah, Vargas is down there in the list in P20. But it was Marcel Mirage in Pro-Am, ahead of Gauger, and Larney worked his way back up into third in class, ahead of the rest of the drivers coming down through there. And then in Am, big move, last corner for Steve Claes to get the move done on Ruben Iglesias, the Andorran driver, not able to hang on there. And Helder Sequeira there, third in Am, with Franek Sikorsky, who led for much of the race there, falling foul, potentially a fuel, finishing in fourth. The rest of your drivers, runners and riders are on your screen. A few retirements there along the way. So not sure what's happened there to Ivan Vargas, where he's P20 in the standings, maybe the incident point limit or something
Yes,
like that.
I assume an incident on the last limit that put him over the... and he's got a 40-second pen.
Sort of like lines up with where he was and where he's ended up, if that makes sense. But
yeah,
it is what it is on that one. So he's going to lose a lot of positions and a lot of points on that one.
impressive finish from Lazarus there, like, because we went completely under our radar. I mean, we saw him where he was, seemed to be hanging around just behind the team checkmate guys. Pit stop time was okay, everything was okay. Really solid finish. Finished up 7th position in I mean, that was crazy top field.
It was so stacked. It was yeah, a really, really good watch. So do you want to take a first interview?
Oh yes, sorry.
You want to grab someone?
Bear with me 2 seconds.
I've got Steve Claes in there, who I think he's going to tell us a nice story probably about that last lap and get
yes,
over the line.
Winner of the AM, that's right, yeah.
Winner of the AM class. So we just drag him in.
Hey Steve, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
First of all, congratulations. You must be, I'm trying to pick the right word, elated. That was down to the line? Tell me about it. Tell me, it's an hour-long race. How did it go?
Well, I would say I'm sweaty. So I'm really sweaty. Yeah. I had a bad qualifier. I don't know what happened there, but I messed up everything. So I was like, okay, I need to calm me down. It's a long race. Things will happen. Just try to pass it. So yeah, I think I chose the right side at the chicane, because there was happening several things and spinning, and then I saw cars flying everywhere, and I think I gained 10 positions in the first lap. And then I just followed the group. I let faster guys pass, and I just wanted to follow, keep the tires cool, fuel save a little bit, and it worked out in the end. I knew I was faster than Ruben, but I still have to pass him. So, but it was okay. We collided, but he let me pass. That was a fair shot, so thank you. And it was great racing. Very happy.
Now you should be. Do you know what happened to Sikorsky? It was all very last minute. We saw him drop quite a few positions. Did you see what happened to him?
I think he went wide in the the big chicane, and then I think I passed him, and then I don't know. I didn't pay attention to him.
Yeah, once it's in your mirror, mate, he's out your mind. That's it. Exactly. It's gone and forgotten.
I'm past, so it's behind me. Really.
Perfect mentality.
Eyes forward, would love to hear it.
Did you enjoy the track? Is this a track that you usually enjoy?
Yeah, well, Monza and Porsche. Come on, don't ask stupid questions.
I like Steve. How are you sitting in the standings? Because I know AM is very, very tight.
I think I was 1 point behind because
Yeah,
I got a penalty.
That's a point
Yeah,
lead.
I got a penalty, and then I got dropped 1 position, so I was 1 point behind. But
have you
Lean's not here, so well, easy calculation then.
have you
So
have you peeked at the official tracks for the schedule ahead so that you know roughly what Sam's going to be picking?
Nope, I have no idea. What? No, anything is good. No, I checked the schedule this week, and it was also Monza. I was like, okay, what is it gonna be? I don't know.
Okay, well,
But I think I saw the official schedule very fast, but it's always the same tracks: Spa, Zolder, blah blah blah, Road to Atlanta, whatever. So I'm really curious.
brilliant. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, Steve?
Well, my teammate Philip, unfortunately, he had a bad result. He got bumped in the first lap, and so he did not finish. But he supported me during the race, and my fellow competitors I want to thank. So just to keep the tension high, otherwise it would be an easy win, and that it was not. So I love the competition, so thanks to them.
Awesome. Well, it was very nice interviewing you, Steve, and again, congratulations. Mega win, competitive track, hour-long race, so yeah, should be very proud, and I look forward to interviewing you in 2 weeks' time at a undisclosed track.
Yeah. Okay, we will see. That's good. Okay.
Cheers,
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Okay.
So we're hearing that Francis Corsi also had a drive-through penalty, which is why, unfortunately, he had to drop back. I'll grab Helder Sequeira, who I believe was 3rd in AM. So Helder, can you hear me?
Hello. Oh, yes.
Hello. So it looked like a bit of a fun race up there towards the front of AM, especially with yourself and Ruben. Seemed frantic as well, sort of worked his way forward. Sikorsky worked his way forward and then dropped back. And then Steve Clay sort of almost appeared out of nowhere and worked his way forward. And it looked like a fun battle. And we just got finished talking to him about it. So, yeah, talk us through your race and how that sort of looked like for you, and whether you got any beef with Steve in terms of how he sort of worked his way through, or maybe not. Maybe it was all good and fair. Tell us how it went.
No, in fact, with Steve, we have a good relationship. We talk sometimes through Discord. He's really, really fast and very consistent. In fact, the problem that I had on the last race, well, in Interlagos, I couldn't finish the race because of the too many incident points. And I finished last at the end. And in fact, for this race, I wasn't expect to be here on podium because I couldn't train at all. Today, after the 24 hours, I came back off the on the rig and trained today during the practice. And well, when I was watching my teammate Ruben and him battling, and Misha, maybe, I think it's Misha, that I think he has to do a drive-through. I was like, oh, P3, really? Oh, I didn't expect that, and I'm very, very, very proud.
Amazing stuff. So this was the first round this season, I believe, where it's the 60-minute race rather than the sort of normal heat format that we typically use in the series. So does that sort of change how you, as a team, prepare for this, or is it kind of the same and just slightly more fuel in the tank and away you go?
No, the only thing that we could prepare was like just don't fight between us if we are very close. Just try to push and give the aspiration to in order to get more speed on straight, and that's all that we could talk, because I repeat, we couldn't train a lot, and we just so today how many food we need for the refill. We made a very fast calculations, and let's see what happens, and then it ends really well.
Yeah, you guys did a super job out there, and double podium is your reward. So yeah, looks like Monza's worked really well for you. We don't know what's exactly up next, so probably we'll follow the iRacing schedule, and once that's like 100% confirmed, we'll push that out to you. But in the meantime, congratulations on your result, and anyone else that you want to give a shout out to.
Well, congrats for Steve for the win, Ruben for the P2, and all the teammates, the team crew that we are always working with, and for you also for the nice job on the organization. So continue like that.
Thank you very much. I will say I'll give Sam a tiny little bit of praise. He does the vast majority of the organisation behind this. A lot of this is sort of his child. So as much as I hate saying nice things about Sam, I'll give him some credit there. But thank you very much, Helder, and enjoy the rest of your evening. And I'm sure we'll see you back in a couple of weeks' time.
Yep, we will be there.
Amazing.
See ya.
Thank you, Helder.
Too nice to Sam, mate.
Yeah,
Way too nice.
he's probably not watching now.
No.
This is the bit there. I'm sure he's not.
No,
like he's not too interested in.
Yep.
So we got one more. If you want to grab,
Yep. We gotta grab Glenn.
Gotta grab Glenn.
Hey, Glenn, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, not bad, you?
Yes, I cannot complain. Tough out there, mate. I think a good result
Yeah.
overall. From qualifying pace to race finish. Was that what you had in qualifying, or how did it work out? Yeah, sorry, because we see data and what's shown to us on the screen, so sometimes it can be hard with this many cars. But yes, how did it go?
Yeah, I'd done a bit of practice Monday after the 24, and I didn't quite gel with the track. I still wasn't really gelling with it in quali. And then I got to the race, and something just clicked, and I was averaging quicker laps than what pace I had. So I'm not quite sure, but it all just kind of clicked and worked. So I can't complain, other than putting it into the wall in like lap 5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean, it clicking in the race is a lovely feeling, but obviously qualifying, especially in the open format and how many drivers there are, it can be daunting. I personally find myself always on the back step in open because I let my brain start wondering like, oh, am I doing the right thing? Should I be closer to him, further to him, and rather I should just do my lap. Monza, a track you enjoy?
Yeah, it is. I say it's one of those tracks. It seems simple because there's not a lot of corners by the looks of it, but they are quite technical corners, and you can lose a lot of time.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it is good. I do like it.
Yeah, it's a lot of braking, a lot of curb management, a lot of high-speed corners where you, especially parabolic, one of the simplest looking corners, but onto one of the longest straight, and it can really shape the results. Your teammates, did you have an opportunity to work together as a team, or were you spread out? I saw you together at one point, the three of you.
Yeah, I say beginning was a bit chaotic, like when we had like the likes of Steve Clays, Costa and Lane and Wick starting on the grid right behind us.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of it got a bit busy at the back. So I think we were all together at one point, and then like I was a lap down after putting it into the wall. So when my teammates were coming through to lap me, I was trying to do what I could, give them the draft or a bit of a bump and make it as easy as possible for them to come through.
Nice. And have you been driving the Porsche Cup in the officials, or are you just sticking to the league at the moment this season?
Just the league at the moment. I say life.
That's the best
You know
answer.
what it's like.
That's all you need to say. Life. We fully understand everything you mean when you say life. Do you know the official schedule? Like, have you got any hints, or have you looked at what's possibly coming up? Obviously, if there's any duplicates, Sam's going to skip those. So I don't know if you've done any homework. I
did a couple of weeks ago, but if you ask me now, I couldn't tell you.
No, that's fair. We're the same. I was literally just trying to steal insight.
I've just done an hour of Monza.
Yeah. All right, fair. Sassy interviewing today, isn't it? Very sassy.
Incredible.
Yeah. Anyone you'd like to give an interview, a shout out to, Glenn?
I want to interview you if I can. Nah, shout out to you guys, obviously, for putting this on and for doing the training as well. And then shout out to THR as well. You guys are awesome.
That's great. Glenn, good luck in the next round in 2 weeks, and hopefully we get to chat again.
Cheers, dude. See ya.
Cheers, mate. All the best. Cheers.
Awesome. Something, just a little bit of homework that we haven't done yet is sort of mentioning, obviously, that this is the ARA Porsche Cup, and Glenn mentioned the training, which happens on a Monday evening. It's part of our set of group coaching that we run for our academy members as part of Apex Racing Academy. So that's on a Monday evening. We also run GT Sprint practice on a Monday evening as well, and IMSA group coaching on a Wednesday evening. So plenty of opportunity there to ping coaches and pick their brains and learn as much as you can from them. ApexRacingAC.com if you're looking to get a subscription, download setups, telemetry, track guides, and get access to coaching as well. Currently, we don't have anything immediately to offer because we're in the middle of week 13.
Correct.
Everyone's working frantically. I was prized from my rig today to make sure that we could get this all put together, and you had someone to sit alongside rather than trying to do the solo. I assume doing the solo would be rough, but yeah, ApexRacingAC.com, and we're getting ready to rumble for the start of the new iRacing season.
And I will say, not as a shill, but sometimes practicing can sometimes just cement your bad habits. If you're out there on your own and you just log 40 laps, sometimes all you've done is cement a bad habit or something that's wrong that you're now cementing into your driving style. What Jamie mentioned about, even if you're not, sometimes just getting that little bit of advice in a couple of corners can not just improve your pace, but change the way you start looking at different types of corners. It's hard to explain, but like we heard mentioned when Glenn saying something clicks, that feeling is amazing.
Certainly is. I wish I could find that feeling again.
Yeah, I know what you mean there as well.
And then the last bit of homework off the top of my head is that we had the Late Apex podcast earlier on today, 4 o'clock, that normally has Sam Fitzpatrick in this seat right here.
This episode was special.
This episode was special because we locked him away deep into the bowels of some unknown prison, probably. So I graciously stepped in as he's off doing something else, and yeah, we had quite the chat, quite the exhaustive chat. My voice is almost gone at this point because I'm very much not used to this, but normally we run this at 4 o'clock British, UK, summertime, wherever we're at right
British UK summertime.
That's the one. Yeah, that no one's ever called it that before, but we've called it that now. I'm getting quite tired, and we should probably wrap up in just a moment. But every week, normally, Sam Fitzpatrick is in the seat, and next week for ARLTC,
Love that.
you'll be here.
Yes.
Sam will be here, and I might be in the studio in the back corner trying to work all the cameras and give young Lewis Ward there a break. But that's it for us for this week. We had a cracking time at Monza in the Porsche Cups, and we'll be back next week for ARLTC. There's so much ongoing still as well through the rest of ARTV, and this series will return at an as yet undetermined track in 2 weeks' time. But until then, ciao for now. See you again.
Ciao.